Hi there, and welcome to Settled Carlisle 68. This is the channel that covers my N-gauge layout, Westmorland, and it's my interpretation of the Settled Carlisle Railway, based in the 1960s, predominantly in the steam era. So tonight we're going to cover a layout update, which there's been quite a number of updates since my last video about a week ago. So that's all the goodies that you see laid out on the in front of us, and also I'm going to cover the scenics that is the next step that I'm moving on to. So yeah, that should be interesting on what my next projects are. And I also want to cover, which was quite a key part of the model railway for Settled Carlisle, was the selection of the product for dry stone walls, which we can run through that as well. So without further ado, if we go into the layout update, starting at this end, so that's changed quite considerably. So all of the polystyrene work that was done in the last video has all now been painted, so all the stones have been painted, and obviously all the groundwork has been painted in the brown. And the plan is where you see the brown cardboard box at the top of the hill is where I'm going to have a farmhouse, small farmhouse, and probably a barn. So that'll be a Metcalf kit. And then moving along the layout, nothing really changed in the quarry area. So here we've got a change. So previously there was a hill here, so I've cut the hill away now, and I've added what I'm going to call the quarry manager's house, which will be this one here, which will be a Metcalf kit. So I'm going to make a probably a dry stone wall around here with a garden and probably a shed or a garage. So that's been added since the last video. I've also planned what I'm going to do with the road and the dry stone wall. So that'll give the image of running a road over the bridge, and then that would connect to this crossroads, which obviously one leads to the quarry, and then the other leads to the area which was on the last video. So that's the two workmen's cottages, and then we've added this Metcalf kit, which is the coaching inn. So the Metcalf kit has arrived, so that's the kit that's going to go there. And I've also added this this wall in, just to break up between the hill and the area where the pub's going to go. Another major change is the embankment that you see running all the way along the back to the tunnel from the bridge. So I've completely changed this. This was previously, if you possibly remember from the last video, I had this basic insulation foam which I'd carved and painted, so that was all along the back. So I've now done away with that. Didn't really think it blended with the back scene, so I've made a embankment, and as you can see, I've made a cutout for the signal box, the lamp hut, and then there'll be probably a plate layers hut in the other cutout. So this is exactly, I wouldn't say exactly prototypical, but it's similar to the A's Gill signal box, which is on the Settle and Carlisle line. So I've tried to replicate that. So the hut that you see here, the plate layers hut, will be this brick hut here, which is a ratio kit, and then along the back wall, or the back of the embankment, in line with the back scene, I'm going to use this Pico line side fencing, so that's going to run along the whole back from the bridge to the tunnel, so that should look quite effective. And then that's obviously going to be grassed over with scatter and probably quite long static grass. So that's another addition to the layout since last week. I've also finished the top of the second tunnel, so that looks somewhat, I think it looks somewhat better now, a lot lower. I've added a back seam panel which still needs painting, and there's some rocks there, so that's probably another 2-3 inches lower than what it was previously. That looks far more in line with what the other tunnel is. I've also changed the retaining walls. There was a higher retaining wall here which went up probably twice the height, so I've cut that down and flattened out the hill, so I think that looks far better as well. And I've also taken out, this was previously here where the line was, so I've pulled that back further in to give more room, so I think overall it gives a much better effect on the layout. I've also added in a small back scene onto that part of the layout. You could just about make it out, so that was an offcut of the back scenes that you see here, so that's been added. So this really is going to be the area that I'm next going to attack as a project. So I'm going to apply the scenics to this area. I've also changed this rock section here from just being plaster to inserting a foam carved rock face. So that looks far better than it did previously. So as part of the scenics that I wanted to do on the layout, it would involve a lot of dry stone walls. So I invested some time into what to use on the layout with dry stone walls. So I looked at 3 products. So the first one was the Jervis dry stone wall, which is sort of a foam, and that's then coated with grey granules. So that's, I think, £3 a bag for about a 1 metre length, which seems quite good value for money, but the product itself is quite poor, I think, and as you can see from that side, the granules have actually dropped off, so that was a straight no. The next product was again a Jervis product, dry stone wall. It's got quite a thick, heavy base to it, which is probably quite difficult to disguise. And they were 77p, I think, per strip that you see there. So quite expensive, because I probably would need, I think, in the region of 80 of these stone wall segments for the layout. And then I came across this product. So this is from a small company that does the moulding of those. Just bear with me, and that's a company called Model Railway Bits. So I stumbled across those online, and they are 22p per strip. So they come in sort of a magnolia plastic, so the base is thinner, and I've just done the first one this evening. So I've basically primed it with grey car primer, and then just gone over that with a thin black acrylic wash, and then gone back over with a light grey. So that looks, I think that looks, that's focusing, that looks quite effective. So I've got another 79 to go, so they'll be pretty much scattered all over the layout. So as I said earlier, the next step is to carry out this area here. So that's the next project. So I've already started with the first coat, if you will, for the track. So I've put on this sleeper grime, this rail match sleeper grime, which is a spray, enamel spray. So I've already applied that to the track, and then the next step is to then apply the ballast. So I've gone for the Woodland Scenics Fine Ballast, the grey blend. So it's quite a nice blend of whites and greys and blacks. So that's what I'm going to go with. So I've set up a little mock-up piece, and I've also got one of these ballast tools to spread the ballast on the track more evenly. So I'm going to give that a try. I've not used one of those before, so I thought I'd set up a test piece to run that and try the ballast, and then if it doesn't work, I just tip it back in the ballast container and try again. And then I'm also going to use this test piece to try the blended turfs and the fine tufts and the static grass as well, to sort of create a small part of the layout on this board to make sure I'm happy with the results. So from carrying out the sleeper grime, I'm going to lay down the fine ballast by the usual methods of 50-50 PVA, etc., and putting that on. And then I'm also going to look at weathering the track with these rust powders and using the IPA to water that down. I think that WWS have done a video on that, so I'm going to follow the techniques for weathering the track or rusting up the track, and then I'll obviously weather the track with soot and other powders that I have. So that's the plan, to do the track first of all, and then I'll be moving on to the actual application of the Scenics. So the plan is to use Woodland Scenics products, so the fine tuff range of products. This is just a selection of the few that I'm going to be using. So they'll be used predominantly on all of the hills and at the top of the tunnel and on this section here. So I'm probably going to go to the top of these retaining walls and then up to may include the bridge section here, because I'm going to obviously have to do something with the road as well. So I'm going to put the base layer down, use these different techniques, and then move to the bit that I'm looking forward to doing, and that's the static grass. So I've not used one of these before, so I'll be using the layering spray and then the various WWS static grasses. So I've got quite a range of colours and lengths. I've got the 2mm and 4mm, so these are just all the 4mm. And I'm going to use the Pro Grass Micro, so I thought that was big enough for the N-gauge layout. So that's the plan. So this will be very much a before and after video. So this will be obviously the before. So in my next video, which I'm hoping to put out in about 2 weeks' time, this should all be scenic up, ready for the bushes and other things to be applied. So wish me luck. Thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully see you soon back on the channel at Settled Carlisle 68. Okay, see you soon. Bye.